Theater. Today I'll be discussing the book The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne. So, this book is about a boy named Bruno. He's the main character, and the setting is about World War II. About the story... So, actually, he's bored because he has many boundaries. Not only is he far from home, but his mother and his parents put in many boundaries and told him certain places were off limits at all time. This includes the fence people that he could actually see from his bedroom window, which is pretty ridiculous. Though he sees these people behind his fence, he doesn't really make much of it. In fact, he doesn't really know that a war or a genocide is going on at all. He thinks these people are working on a farm. This shows how naive Bruno actually is. It also shows how overprotected he is by his parents. Let's think. Despite the rules and boundaries, though, Bruno wants to explore. He's an adventurer. So he decides to set out on an adventure. Okay, so we've established that Bruno is bored. And it's not just because he actually lost everything that he loved, even though that would be very sad and boring. But his parents, especially his mom, set in multiple boundaries that he's not allowed to go talk to the people behind this fence. He's not allowed to do multiple things, especially go near this fence. So finally, a friend. Shmuel is a Jewish boy about the same age as Bruno. In fact, they share many similar qualities, including their birthday. They they tell each other about themselves and come to like one another. And Bruno doesn't really have many options, so he'll take any friend he could get. While they're talking, Shmuel speaks about the awful train ride they had up to this place called Outwith, which really, if you haven't figured it out by now, means Auschwitz. He talks about the awful conditions on the other side of the fence and how bad the soldiers treat him, but Bruno shows tons of disbelief, and he has no idea how serious Shmuel is being. And again, this shows how overprotected Bruno is. He's actually unaware of the genocide in general, and the war for that fact. Shmuel, on the other hand, serves as Bruno's opposite. He's directly exposed to all the horrors of the Holocaust. They see each other almost every day they can, and up until this point in the novel, their mother decides to take them out of Outwith. She realizes this place isn't the proper place to raise a kid, and so she wants to take him and his sister Gretel back to Berlin. Before they go, however, Bruno decides to go on one more journey, one more adventure. So, because Shmuel's father is missing at this point in the novel, he decides to go on the other side of the fence, disguised, of course, but to help Shmuel find his father and just do some real exploring, as he calls it. Before they go, they do go on this adventure, and this is where this saying applies perfectly to the situation. Curiosity kills the cat. And I'm being very serious. So, the book overall was very good. I felt like the beginning was slow, but I finished the book, and I actually like it a lot, so it was overall a very good book. It kept me interesting, but again, just the beginning, it was hard for me to get past. It's actually a very sad book because the ending is just really bad. Not bad, like, it sucks the way it ends, but it's a very fitting ending. I don't know, it's very sad and very emotional. Despite a genocide is taking place, two people of very different backgrounds, a German boy and a Jewish boy, can live in peace. That's what this book really shows. Bruno doesn't know the genocide, which is being committed out of lack of understanding and fear. That is what I believe is the only reason for a genocide, out of misunderstanding of the other people, or the victims in this case. Because Bruno is not knowing and doesn't live or doesn't have that Nazi mentality, he's able to make a lifelong friend. Okay, so I meant to say child, but I got cut off, so I apologize for that. Child. No, friend, fuck. Lifelong friend is what I meant to say, sorry about that. So, Bruno actually is the perfect example of a child who still has his innocence. He's full of fun, he's not knowing, he's full of energy, and Shmuel is actually his opposite. He's an example of loss of innocence due to the events that have plagued him and his people. 10 out of 10 would recommend to a friend. Have a good day.